these games. I don't wanna go, cause your love is what I want, babe. You know that I wanna stay this way forever.
Why are you not on camera?
Oh, there I am.
All right. So, hey, how are you? So we're talking about cheating. We're talking about cheating, and I was trying to have the conversation to let ladies understand that you can't cheat, but we can.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't like that, if you don't like it, what are you going to do about it?
What was your question? What's your question exactly?
Well, we're talking about why do women love men who cheat, or do women love men who cheat?
I don't necessarily think that we like men that cheat. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's more so I feel like at the end of the day, like us women, we know exactly what we want. So
Mm-hmm.
like if we're with a guy and they're not really like fulfilling like what we want, like of course we're gonna go look for it somewhere else. And I feel like that's the same thing with like men, where like if the woman's not fulfilling what they need, then they're gonna go look for it somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I feel like cheating is like a big thing in like relationships, and it's not so
It's
like
only
necessarily
a big thing. It's a big thing. Women make a big deal out of it. Women say they don't want a man who cheat, but then those are the very men that women love.
True.
So, based upon women's actions, men should cheat because those are the men women love. See how that logic breaks down? Women complain about men who cheat all the time, but those are the men women love. The men who don't cheat are the men you walk away from. So, have you been cheated on before?
No, I've never been cheated on before, but also like I feel like I'm 22 and I'm more so like career driven, where I actually don't really entertain
Where'd you go to school for? Where'd you go to school for?
I go to school I'm a biology pre-med major, and I attend the University of Alabama right now. I'm in my
Okay, but
senior year.
you're career driven. You don't have a career. You're just a student.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty much like persevering my career, so that's
Okay,
why I
so you're
feel
gonna
like
be another one of these PhD women who die alone.
I'm not gonna say I'm gonna die alone.
I am. Because you just said you just said some of the most foolish shit a woman can say. I'm not worried about relationship. I'm more career driven. And
Yeah,
how
I
long? I
mean,
need you not to overtalk me. I need you to listen before I'll give you a chance to speak. Couple of questions. How long have you watched my show?
I honestly just started watching
Okay.
it. I was
About
on
how long?
FaceTime
About
with
how
a
long
friend.
ago? About how long? Would you?
Like a couple of minutes ago.
You've never seen my show before.
No, sir.
Okay, well, ma'am, here's a sound bite.
I'm a PhD.
I'm a PhD.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another sound bite. Buy a dog and die alone. This show for the last almost 2 years is littered with women who say, I don't need no man. I got a PhD. I'm focused on my career, da 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 da. And then women who share your reflection, about 35 or 40 years old, are complaining and whining and frustrated because they can't find a man of value. You're 22 years old and you're going to go to med school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are your non-black female counterparts not getting married as well?
Not necessarily, no.
So non-black women are going to med school and finding a way to get married.
I believe it's possible.
No. That's what they're doing. The next lowest grade group of women to get married is 54%. That's white women. And my point is, you have one young woman up front who wants to get married. She's not really preparing herself. And then she's out here in the sexual marketplace. We have another young lady who is saying a different version of the same thing. focusing on my career. Ma'am, you're focusing on your career, right? Do you want to get married one day?
Yeah, of course.
You
Like
want
that's, I
children?
want to have like a
Do you want
family and
children?
everything.
How many
Yeah,
children? Okay,
children.
how many children would you like to have?
I want to have at least 3.
At least 3. Once you're
Mhm.
pregnant, and once you're married and pregnant with the first child, do you want to have to work to pay significant bills? After you're pregnant and married with your first child, do you want to have to work to pay significant bills? Or do you want your husband to be able to carry the load to where when you're pregnant you don't have to work to pay significant bills?
Yeah, like while I'm pregnant, I would prefer not to work.
Okay.
But like after
Okay.
pregnancy and
I asked my question in a very systematic way. What percentage of the overall family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for a lifetime? Meaning, if you don't produce it, the family doesn't get it. Do you want your children to be able to attend college?
of course.
Do you want to be able to travel internationally and domestically with your family?
Yeah.
Okay. What percentage of the overall family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for? Meaning, as an individual, you have to be responsible for 100%. As a married woman with 3 children, what percentage of that load do you want to have to be responsible for an entire lifetime?
Well, I feel like in a relationship it should be 50-50.
So
So like
50-50, that means if you stop, that means, ma'am, if you stop, that means you got to work during pregnancy. Because if you stop working for any reason, the family's in jeopardy. 50-50 means you can't walk effectively with one leg. 50-50, doctor. Meaning if you don't bring it to the table, how about this? If you stop working for any reason, whether you choose to, whether you want to retire, whatever, do you want the family to be at serious financial risk from losing your income?
no, I don't want the family to be at risk.
Okay, doctor. That means 10%. 10%, doc. 10%. 10%. What state do you live in again?
I'm from Georgia, but I'm currently staying in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Okay, so for a family of 3 children, a wife and a husband, a family of 5, what is the annual income you think you would need?
100K. I don't
Ma'am,
know.
you said you want your kids to be able to attend college, and you said you want to be able to travel nationally and internationally. Doctor, please. 100,000 for 3 people. That's $20,000 a person. Please think again, doctor.
Is it along like 500?
I'm asking you. You said you want your kids to be able to attend college and you pay for it. You said you want to be able to travel domestically and internationally with your kids. Does that sound like middle class or does that sound like upper class?
I feel like with this economy, more like middle class.
Middle class? Did your parents pay for your college?
Yeah, they do.
Okay. No. You have a mother and father?
Mm-hmm.
And what's your tuition every month? I mean, every quarter? Every semester?
Since I'm out of state, they pay along the lines of 50,000 for a school year.
Ma'am, the average middle class family with 2 kids and 2 adults makes $47,000. Your tuition is their income. See, what I'm showing is so many women talk this stuff and they don't understand anything about the math because you don't plan on paying for it. You're going to need around $500,000 for the lifestyle you talked about because even if it was just middle class, well, because you want $500,000 with the kids, each one of your kids is $500,000. And then you don't want to have to work to pay more than, you don't really want the family to be at any real risk if you start working. So, what percentage of men in this country earn $350,000 or more?
I would say like 2% or 3%. It's
Around
very
1%.
slim.
Right. So, if a man is in the top 1% of men, do you think he should have the option to pick? So, and you want that man to be strictly monogamous?
Mm-hmm.
You're crazy. I want you to understand something. How tall are you?
I'm 5'5".
Dress size?
Say that again.
Dress size?
Like 14.
How much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
220.
And on a scale from 1 to 10, you can't use 7. What would you rank yourself fresh face out of the shower? Can't use 7.
I'm a 5. One, you said scale from 1 to 7.
Hmm?
I'm 5.
So, man, we're in a world with an average, 5 is an average, right? Average.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a world with an average looking woman who's obese command a man who's in the top 1% of earners and can demand that he's monogamous. Where in the world can that happen? Does that sound equal, ma'am?
No.
So let's scale it back. If you're average, could you marry an average man? An average man is earning around $42,000 a year. And you be the breadwinner. You marry your husband, you have your 3 children. And because you said you're more focused on your career, we go with that model. Because if a man were the doctor, it would make sense for him to marry the. See, if a man were in your position, it would make more sense for him to marry an average person, right? Most men who are doctors don't marry doctors. Could you marry an average man and have his children? And then you carry the bigger portion of the financial load, like 90%, and he just carried the 10%?
Yeah, if the love is genuine.
There's not, I mean, love is what you choose. But I'm asking, just like you would want a man to carry 90%, you're putting yourself in the financial position to be a doctor, to be a higher earner. Men who are higher earners traditionally have to settle for women. Could you settle for an average earning man?
Me personally, I could.
Okay, cool. That's what my show is. It's basically trying to get women to understand where they rank. Because what you want is you want a man in the top 1%, and that typically doesn't happen where a man in the top 1% deals with a woman who's in your SMV, your sexual marketplace value. Have you ever heard that broken down that way?
No, I haven't.
Now, when I ask about an average man, would you have a problem paying the lion's share of the family bills?
No.
Okay. Would your family have a problem with him?
I mean, the way like my household is set up, like the way my household is set up, like my dad more so like pays the mortgage and
No. But okay, if you're going to be a physician, you'll earn more than most people.
yeah.
Okay, do you want to live at your life? Do you want to live at your lifestyle potential, or do you want to live at your average husband's lifestyle potential? I mean, do you want to live at a $42,000 level?
No, I would definitely want to live above those means.
Well, then, okay. So this is the dilemma for most women. You want to live at a higher level. In order to live at a higher level, you either have to do it by yourself, or you have to get a man who is at your level or higher. But the men at your level or higher have high standards for their wives.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest one being fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, I heard of that before.
Son, you're how old? 22?
Yeah.
So is there any medical reason why you're 200 and, what did you say, 40 pounds?
It's 220.
Oh, excuse me.
You're fine. It's not no medical reasons. It's more so like, I'm not going to say like genetics, but like big boned women do run in
There's
my
no
family.
big bone, man. Stop that, doctor. There are no large skeletons. Stop that. You're just lazy and have a bad diet and don't work out.
Okay, if that's how you want to put it, yeah.
How would you put it, ma'am? You're 5 foot tall and 220 pounds. You're the size of a running back.
But it's only so much that you can control.
But you're the size of a running back.
Okay, but it's only
Man,
so much
there's
that
nothing you can tell me that if I go back in your family, if I go back and you don't overtalk me, you can tell me you don't overtalk me. Don't overtalk me. That's what we think we don't do. If I go back in your family album, you're going to tell me that the women back in the 1920s were 220 pounds?
No, but the people that
no, ma'am, they're not. So like, no, ma'am, they're not. And that's the point. There is no medical reason, so it is about discipline. And what I'm trying to get you to understand is don't make excuses for it. Just understand that if you want a higher quality mate, you're going to have to be competitive. That's all it comes down to. You want a man who's on your level socioeconomically. He wants a woman that's a higher SMV, sexual marketplace value. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So if the key to getting the kind of man you would like for a husband and a mate for life was you dropping 100 pounds and maintaining it, could you do it? If that was the key, could you do it?
Yeah. If it was the key.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Then there is nothing else that needs to be said. Audience, understand. If she thought that was the key, she could do it. So that's the lack of discipline. That's the lack of will. It's not the only key, but it is a very important one. Because men look at women, especially women we want to have children with, and if you're going to be a doctor, ma'am, you know a woman puts on 30 to 50 pounds of baby weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means you already, if you got pregnant tomorrow, you'd shoot up to 250 to 280. You're not going to lose all that. You're going to keep about 10, you're going to keep at least half of that. If you kept half of your baby weight per child, you would be every bit of 280, almost 300 pounds after 3 kids. Why is this important? Because this is how men think. We think in terms of the math that I gave you. We think in terms of where you are now and where you're going to be. And women, you guys think in terms of I look good and somebody will holler at me and somebody will sleep with me. But men who are looking for wives are looking for something completely different. Return on investment over time. How did we get on this subject? We got on this subject talking about cheating. Ma'am, I think it's crazy for women to think men who are who have all these options should be strictly monogamous. I think y'all are crazy. I think y'all are crazy to demand that. If a man chooses to do it, that's one thing, but I think it's unreasonable.
In this riveting episode, Kevin Samuels and a 22-year-old pre-med student engaged in a dialogue that uncovers a crucial aspect of relationships that is often overlooked. This conversation underscored the importance of considering not only our personal aspirations and dreams but also understanding the perspectives and desires of the other person in the equation. Throughout the call, it became evident that the young woman has devoted much thought to her hopes, ambitions, and the type of man she desires. However, she seemed to have rarely, if ever, contemplated what this ideal man might want from a woman. The realization that men, too, have standards, expectations, and desires left her surprised and somewhat disillusioned. Kevin's forthright and insightful approach encourages us all to take a step back and understand that the path to successful relationships is not just about personal achievements or conforming to societal pressures, but about mutual understanding, respect, and the willingness to meet halfway. This enlightening conversation serves as a stark reminder that balancing love, career, and personal expectations isn't a one-sided affair. It necessitates an understanding of the needs and desires of all involved parties. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you found value in this content. Your support enables us to continue these important conversations.